Hello, respected viewers. Today is March 28th, a traditional review of events at the front lines of the Ukrainian civil war. We'll start from the direction of Avdiivka, where our forces have been continuously advancing, puncturing, gnawing through the enemy's defenses in the district of Berdichi and Semyonovka. Yesterday, we made some headway in one aspect or another. Our troops finally established themselves on the southern edge of Semyonovka. Crossed the brook, the enemy tried all day with counterattacks to dislodge them from there. It's understandable that the front is really important to the enemy. Fundamentally important. I've explained why it is fundamentally important. Because it is from this front that it's easiest for us to further develop our operations, which can also take a strategic turn. Precisely why for the enemy, the front of Semyon-Kabardichi is critically important. But for this very reason, our forces and the aerospace forces and infantry and artillery, everyone works in unison and literally takes out the enemy's front line, forcing him to slowly retreat to... That's exactly why yesterday we celebrated successes in Semyonovka and Berdichi. The northern part of Berdichi was occupied by our troops. Our troops took over yesterday and continue to develop success in the direction of Kokretin. Also, we are working very powerfully. Our aviation and artillery work to the north. It's Novokalinova, Keramik, and further in the direction of the so-called New York. Everything is besieged there. Everything that can fly is there. The aviation is working. Artillery is working. By the way, also yesterday there was interesting news information appeared that the production of glide bombs with planning wings, so to speak, has been increased to 12,000 units per month. This gives an average of 400 bombs per day, while our troops have not used more than 200 kopecks per day. And this indicates that either our troops, our teams are accumulating bombs for some powerful strategic offensive operation or in the near future. And I think that it is second along with our troops will greatly increase the number of bombardments of enemy positions with this weapon, which is the most terrifying for the enemy today. Especially our guided bombs have proven themselves very well, and a statement from the other side, Western press is already writing about this, is that the use of an average of 125 aerial bombs against the armed forces of Ukraine in Avdiivka over the course of just a few days determined the battle's outcome. And let me remind you that the enemy abandoned most of the city without a fight because our aircraft simply began leveling their positions with the ground with aerial bombs. These aerial bombs will be produced. Rather, many times more are already being produced, which poses very serious problems for the enemy, especially when combined with the fact that, judging by the latest data I see, the enemy can no longer resist this, even deep within their own positions. Our troops were able to break through the air defense line, which previously held the front line stable, did not allow our troops to use glide bombs to a great depth, so yesterday's use of our air bombs on Kharkiv, and this is about 50 kilometers from the front line, suggests that here the enemy's air defense no longer controls the airspace. That is, the air defense here is completely suppressed completely. Our aviation is now able to take out not only the front line of the enemy, but use cheap aerial bombs. War is first of all about economics. If you find effective weapons that are cheap and which inflict colossal damage on the enemy, this is the key to victory. So the pushing through of the enemy's air defense, which we saw clearly yesterday in Kharkiv, the day before our troops also used air bombs in the southern direction also to a very great operational depth. It indicates that very difficult days are coming for the enemy and the attempt of the enemy to prevent this with air defense calculations. As we know, it ended up for the enemy very, very badly. At least 3 as a minimum, 3 successful attacks, several Patriots destroyed, several S-300S destroyed, and other missile systems have shown that ours are prepared for this, eventually determining the result. The result, for instance, in the direction of Avdiivka, our troops slowly gnawing through the enemy's defenses, despite the best units Wehrmacht, well, in the sense of Zelensky, in the same, happens in the Chasiv Yar area, massive use of air bombs, artillery, good fire preparation for a breakthrough, several days of consolidation, the next breakthrough, and such tactics gradually lead to results. Our troops are practically on the outskirts of Chasiv Yar, which seemed an impregnable fortress.